Greetings wherever you are getting us live. This is Atlantic Online TV, home of the TV revolution. It's all about your education Bantaba platform with me, Mr. Sanyang. My co-host is Babukar Buso, who is not with us physically, but spiritually he's with us. And then today we have a prolific writer, and then he's a young man, he's a youth for that matter. He's also a teacher, but later on we'll hand over the microphone to him so that he can also introduce himself for the benefit of those people at the receiving end. But still, I will not forget the schools that always follow the Education Bantaba platform. Schools like Mahat, congratulations. Yesterday they have their graduation. Down to Brikama Upper and Senior Secondary School, Botrop Senior Secondary School, Kabafita Upper and Senior Secondary School, Brikama LBS, the mother school of all schools within West Coast, and then Jamisa LBS, Mansakoli Bojang, schools within West Coast, schools in Region 1, Region 3, Region 4, Region 5 to Region 6, within the breadth and wide of this country. Welcome to this unique platform called the Education Bantaba platform, and then as I rightly stated, today I have someone special, and then he's also an author of a book. But as time goes on, I'll give you the book title. But without wasting more time, welcome to the Education Bantaba platform.
Well, thank you very much, Uncle Mas, as the children normally or fondly call. I'm so pleased to meet you here in Atlantic TV, and it's a great feeling to be here. I am Sainey Gitteh. I am a poet, a teacher. I'm a footballer too, but then I am a student at the University of the Gambia too, and I'm a teacher at Brikama Opa and Senior Secondary School. So Mars and I are colleagues, and it's just a little while, but then it's back to have a great reunion, and I have a great feeling for him. I always wish him best in his endeavor, and he do the same for me. And I'm so happy and honored to be here. It's really, really a great feeling.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Mr. Gitteh, for that wonderful introduction. And then the Education Bantaba platform, we are saying thank you so very much for honoring our invitation. So we are the one who should thank you, because without your coming, I wonder how today's program will look like. But thank you so very much for honoring our invitation. So as you rightly said, you are an author of a book. You are a writer, a poet, a public speaker, and then I have seen a lot about you in your biography here.
Very well.
So please take us through your biography, your academic career.
Okay, that's a wonderful feeling, and I am a student at the University of the Gambia. I perform excellent at the University of the Gambia. I majored in English and minored in agriculture, because it's a great feeling to do that also, because a country that do not rely on agriculture really is going to doom, and that which we don't want. So also I write books, and I write most of the time, at my leisure time. I understand that learning is more about thinking and then being very creative, especially when you are, willing to read, because not many people want to read. That is why they get stuck. They cannot be able to write. So the first step that I will encourage people, because I faced tough time in my, journey to become what I am today. I vividly remember in my senior secondary school, I do go to the Gambia College for studies. Sometimes it's very dark in there. There's no light around the village, so we use candles at some time, and it was really very tough and challenging. And I go to Botrop. I work for 2 years on field, to reach that school. That was a great experience. But then I remember what Obama said once in his speech. He said, tough time never lasts, but tough people do. So when the going get tough, the toughs get going. That's what Chronic also said. So it's a great feeling to understand that. no matter how long the challenge looks like, it's going to come to an end. So every successful journey is really going to have a painful story behind the whole scenario. So I'm so happy, Mas, and I'm so honored to take you through some of the little things that I went through, and I'm so glad and so grateful for this beautiful opportunity this morning.
Thank you so very much for taking us through to your biography, but I'll also love to go through it for the benefit of those at the recipient end, the audience I mean. Mr. Sainey Gitteh is a native of Brikama, Medina. From Medina, then you Richard Bakar Sambuya, who was born from a legendary family spearheaded by the noble scholar Abdou Gitteh. I think Abdou Gitteh is a household name in the Gambia here. He was once a Muslim scholar. And then his mother, Maimuna Sedi. Sainey is the author of this scintillating anthology, The Reader's Mind, meaning the title of the book he wrote is The Reader's Mind, and then that's the book, The Reader's Mind. Sainey also grew up in a loving extended family, and his primary learning was executed in Brikama Lower Basic School, the model school of all schools within West Coast. I'm sure others will say, why Mas always loves like saying this? But I think it's the model school of all schools. Brikama Lower Basic School gave birth to most of these schools within West Coast. Then he proceeded to Brikama Upper Basic School, I will say the father school of all schools within West Coast, and finally he completed his education at Bottrop Senior Secondary School in 2015 after was examination. Then proceeded to the Gambia College, where he majored in English language and minor general science, respectively. He accomplished his higher teaching certificate within 2015 to 2018. He is also current Secretary General of the English Department at Brikama Senior Secondary School. His love for education forays him to the University of the Gambia, and then currently he is studying English language and minor agricultural science in the University of the Gambia. So that's Sainey Gitteh for you. What a rich biography, Mr. Sainey Gitteh. Then going directly to the book, that's The Reader's Mind. Mr. Sainey, share some of your journey to publishing this wonderful book.
Wow, like I always say, the journey to writing this book was really very fascinating. I would start with the moment I have at the University of the Gambia. When I entered the University of the Gambia, you know, the first person who propelled me into poetry was Babukar E.A. Buso, and I have to be grateful for this.
And then he is the co-host for this special
event. It's
Okay.
really, really fascinating to understand that Babukar E.A. Buso played a very important role. He just led me into the Poetry Society, and I observed a little while, then I started writing, and he corrected me so many times when I write poems. So poetry is a very interesting thing. You can only understand when you are a poet. It's a great feeling to be able to express yourself about the ongoing issues, the issues that nobody can be able to tell. Only poetry can speak those languages.
Certainly.
What the society contained, you know, some elements of hidden, you know, issues in the society. It takes only poetry to reveal those kind of things. So that's a great feeling. And then I would be very grateful to Babukar E.A. Buso, Mamadou Sanu Jallo, and many other poets. The perpetual poet also, he played a very significant role in this journey, because he just launched the book, that's the Blind Bridge of Love, and I love to read the book because it contains a lot of information. So bravo and kudos to the perpetual poet. He have done excellently well, and he has, you know, motivated a lot of people out there. So this is a journey that wouldn't settle. We have to keep it moving.
Yeah, certainly we have to keep it moving. And Mr. Gitteh, when you take a look into your book, that's The Reader's Mind. So please give us a summary of the topic. or the
Good.
title of the book, sorry.
Yeah, the title of the book, The Reader's Mind, is trying to explain to the people what is exactly in their mind. Maybe a lot of people might not be talking about it. Things like corruption, things like manipulations, things like our culture, things like what happens in schools, things that can motivate the youth, things that can, motivate or talented people in the country is really very interesting. So I believe the reader's mind contains a lot of information about what exactly people are thinking about and what exactly is currently going on within the society. So I feel like it takes only poetry to be able to explain the things, without offending any other individual. So this is why the book's title become The Reader's Mind. And I'm so grateful to the Medina Poetry Legend, even though I'm the president. But then every participant plays a very important role in making this journey a successful one.
Yeah, Mr. Gitteh, if you take a look, uh, there are so many titles you can use to at least name the book. But how do you select your topic? How?
Well, I select
Or
my
the title,
topic,
yeah.
my title, based on perceptions, because I believe right now the feeling that the society is having, it must be connected to who wants to read that feeling. That's what triggered me to think that there are many people who are reading, but maybe their minds is what they should read for now. So that's what triggered me to naming the book The Reader's Mind. Yeah, it plays a very important role because I believe they should be knowing exactly what should go.
Yeah, so I think it's very important, at least we know this is the book and the reader's mind, and then which is about to launch, but very soon the book will be launched, and then that's the reason why he's invited here so that he can sell out the book to some of the people out there who love reading. So take us through that.
Okay, the launching we targeted December because of the rainy season and all its situation. Because rain is really very unpredictable, you cannot rely on doing a program in a rainy season. It could be very risky, but taking it, around December would play a very important role because December is a time that many people feel rejuvenated and they have the feeling of bouncing back on what they already, are doing. So I'm so grateful to take it to December, and we need sponsors to execute this task because this is not one man's task. So we cannot rely on one person, for this. So supports are highly needed, and then everyone is welcome to read this book because it is going to play a very important role in my own concept, and I think only readers will understand what I'm talking about. So make sure the book have all the ingredients it needs for people out there, those who are really willing to
Yeah, I
read.
think it is a interesting book, and then if you go through the book contains a lot of ingredients, as you rightly says. There is imagery, there is everything, and then I trust those people at school they'll find it very easy if they get the book, because it will help you to build your grammar, to build your vocabulary, and so on. So, Mr. Gitteh, as he rightly said, he's about to launch this book in December coming, though the launching is supposed to be done within this time frame, but due to rain and other stuffs, and then he's also trying to mobilize funds because launching cannot go without funds and other stuffs. So that's why he's trying to put his house in order. So that's the reason why at least he gave a lengthy duration of time, that's December. So it's very important whosoever want to pop in or to support him for the crusade of the book is very important, and then I trust this is what we are to do. He's also a pillar when it comes to education because he's a teacher at Brikama Upper and Senior Secondary School. He have molded so many students at the school, and then he's also a household name at Brikama Upper Senior Secondary School. So, Mr. Gitteh, my next question is, tell us what you enjoy most about writing.
Well, writing is a great feeling. What I enjoy most about writing, I think I am able to express myself, freely. It makes me feel like, I am doing the best for myself, because it's only through writing that we are able to reflect on what we have in mind. Because I remember reading one book, it says, writing is the process of bringing what is inside out. All right? So what is in our mind is what we put to paper, and that's a great feeling. It's not everyone's potential. Like I said earlier on, writing, it requires a lot of things, but what makes me feel like, or feel great about, writing is that writing helped me, to express my feeling and others' feeling without mentioning, anything about anyone. So that's a great, great feeling to be able to do that.
Yeah, Mr. Gitteh, again, is there anything you would like people to take away from your book?
Of course, there are a lot of things. I think I want them to take everything from the book.
Okay.
Yeah, starting from modesty. That poem is really excellent. It talks about how people should comport themselves, how they should dress, and how they should look, and all that. And it contains a lot of information. It talks about friendship. It talks about politics, corruption, government, what happened in the office. And these are things that people don't want to, give more information about, especially what happens in the office. I really love those points. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, you have around 50 collections.
Yeah,
so,
sure.
And then this is a great job. And then I'm sure you have been doing this quite so long. So, but for now, I would say you already attained one part of it as the success of coming up with these ideas, and then everything is written. So, I think it's very important we go deep into some of the poems you wrote in this book. One on the line, that's modesty. Take us through why modesty.
Well, modesty is a poetry, or is a poem that I write in order to encourage, the society to at least protect their integrity, because, the way we dress, the way we walk, the way we talk, the way we do our activities is all encoded in modesty. Modesty will always guide you, to protect your chastity and your dignity and your integrity. And it will be able to show you how matured you are, because when you are modest, it's really fascinating. It's going to, help you to be able to, execute a lot of things. Right?
Yeah, so I think it's very important you take us through the poem, that's modesty, maybe a few lines or stanzas. Yes, in the poem.
Okay, it's a great feeling to be able to take you to modesty. Well, modesty is a great poem, and I really like the poem, and I like it for a reason, because of the information it contains. So the poem starts. Modesty, for modesty is a guide to chastity. You must stand for loyalty and protect your integrity, so that you may earn dignity. Let not vanity drive you towards insanity. You are above that in humanity. Drive yourself towards sanity, for sanity will always bring unity. For temptation is becoming a culture. We are supposed not to behave like vulture, for a vulture has no policy in nature, because we are mature. For a blatant life is immaturity. Don't trade your quality for nudity, for immodesty creates calamity. Don't unwrap yourself to the city, for the city cares not your negativity. What is calling you to that immorality? For you are not created for immortality, believe in the manner of rationality that may earn you a great functionality. Funnily, you think it's cool and you become a tool, and people watch you like a fool inside a pool. So if you look at the poem, you realize there are lines that talks about, temptation. There are other lines that talks about immorality, which means the way we behave, the way we talk, the way we act upon other people, the way we respond to elders. You realize that the younger generation is not aware of this, and this can cause a great calamity. So the poem contains a lot of information about the people within the society.
That's modesty, and then Gitteh, I think it's a great poem, and then some of the great poets may even love to go through these collection or anthologies of poems. So we move to the next question is, please, what have you found to be most challenging about writing? Because writing is not easy. It's not an easy job. Yes.
Well, the most challenging about writing is it is really very time consuming. It is, it requires a lot of focus, a lot of patience, a lot of dedication, a lot of commitment. An individual who have to write, you must have to read first. So that's why my advice to the younger generation, especially those who are, in a haste to become a poet, it's not always easy. Before you become a poet, you have to read. Reading should be our culture because it's the background, for, writing. So if you have no time to read, you will not be able to write. I believe this is what I really face as a challenge. And then support also sometimes is not really easy, in writing. You need to get some support. In order to stay focused, but sometimes you have to create your own time in order to meet your own demands, especially what you need. Like you have to go out of your comfort zone in order to look for peace. Sometimes the society challenges me, the noise is all over everywhere, so I need
challenges.
So I need to find a secluded place in order to sit and then, digest the information on the paper before I rewrite.
Yeah, we move quickly to another poem of yours you have wrote. That's Dead. And then I trust anytime the word dead is being mentioned, it touches everyone's heart. Because everyone in this world will live.
It's going to die one day.
One day. That's everyone. All living things or living soul must test dead.
Yeah.
So, Gitteh, how do you come up with this poem? Dead.
Well, like you rightly mentioned, I come up with this poem, and even before I actually come with this poem, I remember writing one poem called The Farewell. The Farewell is talking about death, but it's different from this one. Because in The Farewell, there are a lot of information that talks about death. And death is the sad reality that every human being is going to face. So forgetting about death is not an excuse. We are not, created to pretend that we will forget about death. And if we pretend that we are not going to die, death will not pretend that it's not going to take us away. So definitely, what is going to happen, we must be very careful of that. And then, because the hereafter is a very powerful place, it's a place of no return, because nobody knows what is going to be there.
A journey of no return.
Good. So, like I mentioned in The Farewell, I said, every man bears four names. You were called a baby, you were given a name, your name identifies you from the rest, and you earn yourself a name. So when a person is given birth, they are given a name, like you would be named Musa, Fatu, whatsoever. Alright? You earn yourself a name. Maybe people say you are rude, or you are intelligent, you are disciplined, based on your own manner. And then when you die, you will also have a name. That is, people will call you the corpse. So there are series of names that you almost going to have. So, and I also mentioned in The Farewell like the sad reality of no turning back, where you not informed about it, where you not knowing all shall be cut, where you not busy polishing your life. Are you see? So many people are busy developing their own life and then forgetting death totally out of this journey. So this is really, really heart touching. All right? So we should not forget about death. Whether you are a Christian, Muslims, or whatever religion you are, we must always try to put that, in our mind, that one day we will live, and death is the only sad reality of no turning back.
Gitteh, still, I think the program is very interesting, and then the way you have been responding to my question, everything is unique.
Yeah.
Gitteh, I think it's very important you take us through this book. Do you start selling the book, and then how much are you selling?
Okay, thank you so very much for that. The book, this is the book, The Reader's Mind. I would probably sell the book for $400, and I think that's a reasonable price because we invest in a lot of energy to try to bring the information to younger generation, especially the poets. And I believe they will find a lot of information in this book. It's going to inspire them, it's going to motivate them, it's going to help them, to achieve their goal. So this is the information for you, and we would like to be supported through this journey. It's not a one man's journey. It's a journey of collectivism. That's what we believe in.
And then, Gitteh, my last question is going to be, what has been the toughest criticisms you have received as an author? And what has been the best compliment?
Okay, that's a great question, though. The toughest criticism I face in poetry is that, it's like people will sometimes directly attack my poems. And it was really very challenging to see such kind of situation where people will rush onto your poem as if you have done, maybe the message that you've written, have something to do with what they are doing. So they have to react. It's not, because poetry is, you don't care who is going to feel the message. Poem is a feeling. It's based on feeling. So maybe you see other people's, the way they are doing things, but you don't mention anyone's name. But because how we express it is in line with what they are doing, so they're going to attack you directly on your work, and then even want to defame you on what you're doing. So that's the greatest challenge I face. But the greatest feeling I have is, I remember sending some of my poem to a group, and a lot of people really appreciate it. And that's a great credit to be able to send. Sometimes I write I send it in voice, like an audio form, and the other time it is in written form. So I feel so great being able to scrutinize a lot of poets, even in Brikama Senior Secondary, even the boy who was here, Sirif, is my student, and the other Fatim, I think is now in Mansakoli, if I can remember good. And the other one, Tamsir, I think it's Tamsir, good. Tamsir also was my student. So all these people, if they are my product, then I'm doing great. I believe I am doing great because they are also doing extremely well.
Yeah, then we are almost to the end of the program. So please, what support do you think the public should render as far as you are about to launch the book? What support do you need from the public?
Well, I would need their participation in making my dream come true, because my act of writing poetry just come naturally. I was not a literature student in the senior secondary school, and you have to know this. So when I went to the Gambia College, I just majored in English, and the university I also did poetry and introduction to poetry. So that's what triggers me. So this is a fact that people have to stay away from excuses by saying that, because of this, because of that. You have to be able to venture into something. Once you have the belief that you can do something, the mind will always bring reasons why you can do it, and you will definitely be able to do it. So writing this was not easy for me. So I am going to encourage anyone listening here that Obama said, you can make it to the top if no one believes in you, but you can never get there if you don't believe in yourself. So everything starts with you. Never doubt your capabilities, your potential, your abilities. Even you, Mas, I will tell you this for free, that whatever you have in mind, you know is good, just go for it. All right? Things are going to unfold themselves when the time is right. So never doubt your potential. In fact, this media work that you're doing will yield at some point because of the effort that you put in there and the consistency. And I pray that this media go far, because you've played a very crucial role in trying to make this country a better and a safer place to facilitate a lot of things for the younger generation.
Yes, my last and then the last question is, what advice do you have to your writers?
Okay.
And then your final words to those at the receiving end.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a great feeling. So, to all those who are putting pen to paper, my greatest advice for you is never give up on yourself and never think that you are doing, always appreciate the little things that you do. That is very important. And because those little things will get you to the bigger things. Because I remember one thing, he said, all big things have small beginning. So when something big is going to happen, it doesn't start big. So when you are writing, remember to read before you write. You can never write until you read. So reading is a crucial element in writing. And anyone listening out there, to my people, I'm so grateful, and that you are so wonderful and so excellent too. So it's a great feeling.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Gitteh.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Gitteh. Honestly, the Education Bantaba and Atlantic TV, we are so pleased to have you in our this balloting. And then I trust the Atlantic TV and then the Education Bantaba platform will make sure that we'll also play our quota to support you in your future endeavors, and then your upcoming book launching on December. We'll also see how best we play our part to make sure that at least we have a successful launching. And then those at the receiving end, thank you so very much. Please, let's support this young man by buying the book for $400, and then the book contains a lot of things. And then please, he'll share his number, contact number. Anytime you want the book, then you can directly call him. Then he'll tell you his location, and then I'm sure you'll get the book. And then if you get the book, you'll be moved, and then you'll be inspired. And then please keep following. Gitteh, your numbers?
Yeah, the number, to call for any support will be 339-4472, 339-4472, 617-4856, 617-4856. So these are the numbers to call.
Thank you so very much. Till we have you in our next program, that will be Monday. Mr. Gitteh, this will not be the first. And it will not be the last. We'll continue engaging till the final day of the book launching. Thank you so very much. Keep following the Education Bantaba. Thank you. Back to you.